the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Abra de Ilog Mayor refutes allegations of civilian deaths in January 1 encounter. AFP prepares next modernization phase as current program nears completion in 2027. 500 million cold storage hub investment to boost food security in Bicol. Senate set to resume flood control investigation on January 19. A pleasant day to all our viewers, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo in Quezon City. Today is Thursday, January 15, and this AFP Committee News, your trusted source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. I am Rofh Suzon-Abay here to bring you today's stories.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our news, the municipal government of Abra de Ilog Occidental Mindoro denied online claims that civilians, including Mangyan Iraya children, were killed during the January 1 encounters between government troops and New People's Army elements. Mayor Meg Constantino said the local officials verified the situation through direct consultations with CTO leaders and communities who confirmed that no children were killed, injured, or missing. She urged the public and media to report only verified facts and avoid portraying Abra de Ilog as a conflict-ridden area. The 2nd Infantry Division backed the mayor's statement and stressed the verified accounts from local leaders confirmed there were no civilian casualties.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines said it is preparing the next phase of its modernization program as the revised initiative nears completion in 2027. AFP Deputy Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Romero Dan said the military is ready to submit technical recommendations to guide future capability upgrades. He noted that the AFP continues to review the current program while monitoring evolving security challenges to align future plans with operational needs. Lieutenant General Dan added the 40 billion pesos has been allocated for modernization in 2026 with an additional 50 billion pesos in unprogrammed funds and new equipment deliveries expected within the year.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
From our report on the ground, let us hear the report of Shaina about Night ID cites major gains in peace and security across the Bicol.
Yes, Rofh. The 9th Infantry Spear Division reported significant gains in peace and security in the Bicol region during a press briefing recently. 9 ID Commander Major General Alduin Almase said sustained security operations and humanitarian initiatives weakened insurgent influence throughout 2025. The division conducted over 15,000 security operations, neutralized 623 communist terrorist group personalities, recovered 253 firearms, and helped declare 29 areas as stable internal peace and security zones. He said the surrender of 460 individuals and the discovery of multiple firearms catch highlight the effectiveness of the government's whole-of-nation approach. This is Shaina Raneta reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Shaina.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Focused military operations by the 403rd Infantry Brigade led to the surrender of 6 communist terrorist group members and the discovery of a hidden armed cache across northern Mindanao from January 6 to 12, 2026. Government troops facilitated the surrenders in Bukidnon as former CTG members cited exhaustion, hunger, and disillusionment with the armed struggle, with one AK-47 rifle turned over during the process. In a separate operation in Agusan del Sur, Soldiers recovered M14 rifle from a concealed arm cache, further degrading CTG firepower. 403rd Infantry Brigade Commander Brigadier General Sigfred Tubalado said the developments reflect the CTG's weakening influence and urged the remaining members to surrender and avail of government reintegration program.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines deploy the Philippine Army's 53rd Engineer Brigade Search, Rescue, and Retrieval Team to assist operations at the landslide site in Barangay Binaliw, Cebu City. Engineer troops are working closely with local government units and partner agencies to continue retrieval efforts despite the unstable terrain and hazardous conditions. The team is prioritizing the safety of all responders while sustaining around-the-clock operations. The swift deployment highlights the AFP's strong commitment to humanitarian assistance and disaster response.
Armed Forces Radio.
And now some information from Leonor about Westmincom and 11th ID strengthens cyber and communications coordination. Go, Leonor.
A senior Western Mindanao Command official paid a courtesy call on the 11th Infantry Division leadership in Holosulu to reinforce inter-unit cooperation. Colonel Jose Marie Sardeng, Assistant Chief of Unified Command Staff for Communications, Electronics and Information Systems USIX, Westmincom, discussed closer coordination with 11th Infantry Division Assistant Division Commander Brigadier General Gregorio Nieveras on cyber communications and information system support. He emphasized the need to boost cyber awareness, information security, and digital resilience in modern military operations. The engagements stressed Westmincom and 11th Infantry Division's commitment to reinteroperability and secure communications in support for peace and security efforts. This is Leonor Tanap reporting for AFP Community News, 1FP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Leonor.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Naval Forces Central conducted sea lift missions and maritime security patrols from January 12 to 13 to support preparations for the ASEAN Summit 2026 in the Visayas. BRP Manobo LC-297 led the sea lift operations in Bohol, ensuring the safe transport of military personnel, rolling cargoes, and essential equipment for summit activities. Meanwhile, both Attack 482 carried out maritime security patrols en route to Naval Base Rafael Ramos in Lapu-Lapu City to establish naval presence and secure key sea lanes. NFC said the operations highlight the Philippine Navy's commitment in strengthening maritime security for major international events.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, the Department of Agriculture said the 500 million cold storage facility being constructed in Camarines Sur will help boost the food security in the Bicol region. Agriculture Secretary Francisco Chu Laurel Jr. said the game-changing project will help stabilize the food supply and increase the farmers' profit. He said this investment strengthens food security, creates jobs, attracts agri-investments, raises incomes of farmers, fishers, and everyone in the agriculture value chain across Bicol and neighboring regions. The cold storage facility will include 6 refrigerated warehouses with a combined 2,688 pallet positions. In terms of capacity, it can store about 4,600 metric tons of boxed meat or 3,000 metric tons of vegetables.
Armed Forces Radio.
From NOLCOM to share some information from Joanne, PMA recognizes top-performing cadets for first term 2025 to 2026.
The Philippine Military Academy honored the top-performing cadets during the Course Excellence Award 2026 at the PMA Yap Hall. The awardees include 31 Dean's Listers, 43 Commandant's Listers, 1 cadet who is both a Dean's and Commandant's Lister, 30 Course Achievers in various academic subjects, and 18 Course Achievers in various tactics subjects. PMA Superintendent Vice Admiral Cesar Valencia congratulated the awardees, stating that the activity is the command's recognition recognition of all their hard-earned achievements. He said that the cadets' performance is a testament that the culture of excellence lives within the halls of the academy. He also urged the awardees to continue nourishing the knowledge they have exhibited in the previous terms and also emphasize the importance of mental toughness, especially with the uncertainties and advancements in technologies. This is John Sagauk reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne from Nolcom.
DWDD National News.
Meanwhile, the Department of Education vowed to further advance reforms within the education sector. This came as Secretary Sonny Angara topped the Tangere Satisfaction and Trust Survey. Based on the non-commissioned survey, Angara ranked highest among President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s cabinet members with 52.71% satisfaction rating and 53.95% trust rating. DepEd Media Relations Chief Dennis Legaspi said the survey's results are the fruit of the united efforts of over 1 million DepEd personnel, including almost 900,000 teachers nationwide who daily serve the learners. He also assured that DepEd will remain open to suggestions and criticism to further enhance the quality of Philippine education.
DWDD National News.
The Philippine National Police said it is ready to provide technical support for a possible forensic audit of the so-called Cabral files. The files consist of data storage devices, documents and records linked to the late Department of Public Works and Highways Under Secretary Maria Catalina Cabral. Acting PNP Chief Lieutenant General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr. said he has placed the PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group on standby in anticipation of any formal request for technical assistance or a forensic audit. He added that this is part of their commitment to truth, transparency, and accountability.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let's hear more from Mike about Philippine Army uses mobile loudspeakers to counter NPA misinformation in Surigao del Sur.
The Philippine Army said it deployed loudspeakers on military vehicles in part of Surigao del Sur as part of an information campaign against New People's Army influence. Army spokesperson Colonel Aloy Maala said the initiative aims to deliver accurate information directly to remote communities affected by misinformation. He said the campaign highlights the alleged deceptive recruitment practices of the NPA and its impact on peace, security, and local development. The Philippine Army added that informing residents empowers communities to withdraw support from armed groups and actively promote stability and progress. This is Mike reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Mike.
DWDD National News.
The Senate Blue Ribbon Committee is set to resume its investigation into alleged flood control anomalies on January 19. Senate President Pro Tempore Panfilo Lacson said the committee intends to obtain documents directly from the Department of Public Works and Highways. This includes files left by the late former Undersecretary Maria Catalina Cabral to consolidate records needed to clarify issues surrounding alleged irregularities in flood control projects. Lacson said he earlier discussed with Dizon the specific files and documents required by the committee, adding that the investigation aims to rely on verified and original sources rather than secondary disclosures.
DWDD National News.
The Philippine National Police and the Armed Forces of the Philippines said the security preparations for this year's Association of Southeast Asian Nations related activities are in place. PNP Acting Chief Lieutenant General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr. said the police have been preparing for more than a year. They have been coordinating with the AFP, local government units, and other law enforcement agencies to ensure peace and order during the country's hosting of ASEAN meetings and related events. He then added that they have not monitored or gathered any threats with regard to the conduct of ASEAN.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
Let us hear more from Meljoy of First CRG about 69 IB conducts information awareness drive in Zambales.
Yes, Rofh, the 69th Infantry Cavalry Battalion, Philippine Army, through its Civil Military Operations Unit, conducted an information awareness drive which focuses on the recruitment methods of the communist terrorist group and expanding knowledge about the West Philippine Sea in Barangay Boletok, Santa Cruz, Zambales. The activity was led by Second Lieutenant Elnor Grace G. Impang, QMS Philippine Army, Civil Military Operations Officer, and Second Lieutenant Joshua C. Elezo, FS Philippine Army, XO of Alpha Company of the 69th Infantry Battalion, together with barangay officials and staff led by Honorable Arnel Mansalud, Barangay Chief of Barangay Boletok. The program aims to expand the public's knowledge about the deceptive tactics of the communist terrorist groups and their recruitment, especially in the vulnerable sector of society, as well as to deepen the community's understanding of the government's measures in the defense of the country's sovereignty, particularly in the West Philippine Sea. It also emphasized the importance of vigilance, strengthening community unity, and actively supporting government's programs that promote peace, order, and development. This is Madre Nesho Arauco reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Maljoy of First CRG.
DWDD National News.
For other national news, the Commission on Elections said a special elections would be held on March 14 to fill the vacant position left by the late Antipolo 2nd District Representative Romeo Acop. Public Chairperson George Garcia said, under the Constitution, a special polls must be held not later than 90 days after the position was declared vacant. Garcia said they chose to hold the election on a day when the children were not in school because the classrooms in Antipolo will be used. He added that 38 million pesos would be needed to conduct the elections in Antipolo's 2nd District.
DWDD National News.
Office of the Presidential Advisor on Peace, Reconciliation and Unity Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr. lauded the Bangsamoro Parliament's passage of a new redistricting law. Galvez also thanked the Bangsamoro Transition Authority for heeding the call of the Bangsamoro people to have the first regular parliamentary elections in the BARM. He said the passage of a legally compliant redistricting law reflects the BTA's resolve to uphold democratic principles, ensure inclusive representation, and realize the aspirations of our Bangsamoro brothers and sisters for self-governance. Galvez said the law's passage aligns with the peace, reconciliation, and peace agenda of the Marcos administration and its commitment to uphold its deliverables under all signed Bangsamoro peace agreements.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
From AMI, updates about anti-FLCAC urges public restraint, due process in Chantal Anicoche case.
A senior national task force to end local communist armed conflict official urged the public to approach the case of Phil-American Chantal Anicoche with sovereignty and responsibility following her rescue by army troops in Occidental Mindoro. NTF-LCAC Executive Director Undersecretary Ernesto Torres Jr. said Anicoche is safe, alive, and receiving proper medical attention, and stressed that all government actions followed existing laws, protocols, and due process safeguards. He warned against misinformation and online accusations and emphasized that facts must be established through verification rather than speculation or pressure. Undersecretary Torres also raised concern over how young people are drawn into conflict zones, calling for accountability from those who facilitate recruitment, movement, and exposure to armed violence. This is Ami reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Ami.
DWDD National News.
Meanwhile, Acting Transportation Secretary Giovanni Lopez said motorists may present their electronic driver's license or e-license during traffic stops and may pay their fines online. Lopez said e-licenses and other digitalization efforts of the Land Transportation Office are in line with President Ferry Marcos Jr.'s order to find ways to ease processes without sacrificing the essence of traffic laws. The policy was released through the Department of Transportation Department Order Number 2023-015. Under the DO, LTO law enforcement officers and their deputized agents are enjoined to accept an e-license as a valid form of authorization and identification to operate a motor vehicle.
DWDD National News.
The Government Service Insurance System is studying the Philippine Stock Exchange's proposal to allow state-run pension funds to revive loan for stocks and similar financial products. GSIS President and General Manager Vic Veloso said the pension fund recognizes the potential of such programs to expand retirement investment options and help strengthen the domestic capital market. But Veloso highlighted that retirement security remains its primary responsibility. He emphasized that they have to ensure that any program they implement protects retirement security while genuinely contributing to market health.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
Let us hear more updates from Ferdy about Army Chief sets 2026 command guidance, stresses people-centered leadership.
Good day everyone. Commanding General Philippine Army Lieutenant General Antonio Navarrete presented his updated command guidance during the Army-wide 2025 Year-End Accomplishment Report and 2026 Command Conference at Fort Bonifacio, Taguig City. He said the Army's 2025 gains will strengthen its drive to become a responsive, credible, and capable ground force supporting the AFP's Tatag Kapuluan campaign plan. He emphasized the leadership mantra, "Our strength is our people," while pushing competency-based human resource management and enhanced operational concepts aligned with the shift to external security operations. Senior officers, unit commanders, and support units joined the conference. This is Ferdy Blues reporting for AFP Committee News, one AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Ferdy.
DWDD National News.
The Philippine National Police will review its protocol in handling police officers under restrictive custody following the stabbing incident involving two cops assigned to the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group. PNP said the review will be on top of the investigation being conducted by the CIDG on the incident, which took place Tuesday inside the CIDG office in Camp Crame. Nartates said the review aims to determine possible adjustments of the rules and regulation relating to PNP personnel under restrictive custody. According to reports, the two police officers involved were under restrictive custody over alleged theft of cash evidence seized in a raid on a Philippine offshore gaming operator hub in Bataan in 2024.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that concludes today's broadcast, and thank you for your continued support, particularly to our viewers on AFP Radio DWDD's official Facebook page. Join us again tomorrow for more stories and updates, same time and same station. Once again, this is Rofh Suzon-Abay for AFP Committee News, one AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.